Hello, everybody. Welcome into UFO Fantasy Football. I'm Jackson. That's Finn. And today we are going to talk about our bold predictions and our starts of the week. So be prepared. Very bold. And I guess I'll just get right into it with my first bold prediction. I have Cam Akers will finish outside of the top 24 running backs. And okay. I think that's actually pretty likely to happen. I don't have him anywhere in any of my leagues.
I have zero shares of Akers. Zero.
Yeah, he's not fully healthy back from the Achilles. Like Henderson might be starting tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't trust it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, he didn't look fully healthy when he came back last year. I feel like he had some fumbling issues too. Not healthy to start this year. You know, it just feels like a bad vibe from the whole situation over there.
Yeah, I don't like it. How about you? What's your first one?
I've got my bold prediction is Tony Pollard will have more fantasy points than Ezekiel Elliott at the end of this year. Which obviously Zeke's been great, but his production's really been tailing off significantly over the past few years. He was banged up a little bit last year, but you just kind of get the sense he's losing some of that explosiveness that he's had in the past. Pollard's been great when he gets the opportunity. Pollard also, I feel like, is going to be a little more heavily involved in the passing game to get some of those PPR points. So I just think eventually over the course of this season, Pollard's going to separate a little bit. I think it'll be close, but I think he's going to have a little bit more. So I like taking flyers on Pollard, as kind of like a flex option or, maybe third or fourth running back in some of my leagues. So I like it.
I could see it.
All right.
It is bold though.
I know.
And while we're on running backs, I will say Chase Edmonds will finish as a top 12 running back. I don't know. I'm really into Chase Edmonds. I wanted to take him everywhere, and I think I got sniped in every single draft. So I don't think I have a share of him, which is really sad. But
I know. I've got him in a couple leagues, so I'm excited. It's a lot of unknown with how he's going to do and how McDaniels is going to, kind of run that backfield. But I think he was the first running back signed in the offseason.
He was, yeah.
They target him right away, so I'm optimistic. Top 12 is bold.
Might happen. Injuries happen to a lot of running backs, so might just have to get a couple injuries to get in there, but I think he can do it.
Okay. I got another running back one. I got the two guys that finished on fire at the end of last year continuing that streak. So I got Rashaad Penny and Devin Singletary finishing top 20 this year. Both seem like kind of similar stories, like didn't really get the chance until the second half of the year and just tore it up once they got the opportunity and like their teams kind of just gave them the ball and made them the primary ball carrier. Very similar as they both had high, draft picks for running backs here, James Cook and Kenneth Walker. Walker's been banged up a little bit to start the season. And, the way Pete Carroll has historically done it, he's kind of ridden with one running back, as his main guy. So I could see Penny taking that over for the majority of the year and kind of Walker not doing much until next year, the year after. And I like James Cook, but, I think he's going to be more complimentary in this first year. And I think it's going to still be all Singletary. So I could see those guys just keep rolling this year and get pretty good values for them too. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they were number 1 and 2 for like the last 5 weeks or something like that. Last year was insane. Yeah, you could get both of them in like the seventh round or so, something like that. Insane.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna transfer over to my wide receiver bold predictions. Courtland Sutton, my guy, will finish top 5.
Wow,
top 5.
Okay.
He is this year's Cooper Kupp. He checks all the boxes.
Okay.
New quarterback into town.
Yeah.
Quarterback upgrade, just like Goff to Stafford. He's in like a unsure wide receiver room. Last year there was Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. You weren't sure who was going to be. This year we got Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. Who's it going to be? That's kind of that's just like two things that are very not common that just happen to boost Cooper Kupp right into number 1.
I know. I mean, I guess it depends how, Hackett can scheme up the plays to get him open too, because McVay, just making Cup open all the time. But I guess I could see it though. I think he's probably creative enough to make things happen like that. So, I have some shares of Jerry Jeudy, so I'm kind of hoping
it could be Jeudy too. It's probably gonna be one of them.
Yeah,
my college is on Sutton, and I mean Russ is like with Metcalf and Lockett, he had them both in the top 24 easily.
Yeah.
So I think just if he can do that the entire year, I think he can push him to top 5.
Okay. I got a couple wide receiver ones here. I've got Gabe Davis finishing outside the top 20 wide receivers, which I feel bad saying that because I like Gabe Davis, and I'm relatively high on him, but I think his hype was just getting kind of out of control, where he was going in the 3rd or 4th round, and maybe, but I still think Josh Allen's going to spread it around enough. But Diggs is still the main option there. They just signed Dawson Knox to a big extension. They drafted that running back that I think they're going to get, throw it to him a little bit more. McKenzie's there. I just think there's a lot of options. I like Gabe Davis, but he really just popped at the end of the year there. I think he'll have a good year, but I don't think he's going to be going. I don't think his performance will warrant his ADP, I guess is what I'm saying. So
yeah, I would be more comfortable with him in a flex position than my wide receiver 2 or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, but we'll see. I kind of hope he proves me wrong though. But
if the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl this year, they need him to be good the whole year. So
yes, exactly. There is a lot of targets available though, so that's why I was going back and forth on Gabe Davis, but that's what I'm going with.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
All right, 2 more for me, 2 more for you. Yeah. I have Jahan Dotson, the rookie for the Washington Commanders, who finished as a top 30 wide receiver.
Okay.
Which seems kind of bold to me, just because no one's really talked about Dotson, it seems like. But he was a 1st-round draft pick this year.
He's the clear number 2 there.
Yeah. I think he was on the depth chart. He was wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
And Carson Wentz, not the best, but definitely not the worst. He can get it done. And I don't know. Terry McLaurin, I'm not sure about, and I think Dotson might benefit from possible double teams on McLaurin this year.
Okay. I've got a real bold one for you.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chris Godwin finishing as a top 10 wide receiver this year. That's obviously assuming he can get on the field here early and be.
Which I think he will.
I think he will as well, and I feel like nobody is talking about Chris Godwin.
Not really.
He's been kind of injured this whole off season, but his production was great last year until he got injured. And then we've talked about it before. No AJ Brown or no Antonio Brown, no Gronk. Mike Evans has a little bit of a hamstring thing going on. They signed Julio and Gage, but
Gage is also hurt.
Gage is hurt. Julio's old. If Chris Godwin's healthy, I think he could easily finish in the top 10. He's a PPR monster, but he also scores touchdowns. He's kind of got everything. So,
yeah.
I was hoping to get him in a couple leagues, but it didn't work out. But I'm kind of bummed. But I think he's gonna have a big year.
I can see it for sure.
Yeah.
Just go back a couple of years. He was nuclear.
Right. Godwin was going well behind Gabe Davis in a couple drafts I've seen.
Yeah.
Where I think Godwin's going to finish higher than Gabe Davis though.
I think he has a better chance too.
Yeah.
All right. My last bold take involves Marquise Hollywood Brown. I think he could be a top 5 receiver for the first half of the year. And then once D-Hop comes back, I think he's going to continue to be the wide receiver 1 on the team and finish as top 12 wide receiver.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the boldest one that I have.
Yeah, we'll see. I go back and forth with Hollywood. But
last year he was wasn't he the number 1 or something like that for the first few weeks?
I think so. I was shocked at how well he did last year. But yeah, he's got some rapport with Murray, right, from college there. So we'll see if they can rekindle that. But
yeah, and obviously there's no D-Hop Ertz is a little hurt. Rondell Moore's a little hurt. It's like
D-Hop,
AJ Green is there.
Right. No, I hear. Okay, that's good. And I'm curious if Hopkins is going to be the same kind of guy when he gets back too.
That's my thought is he's not.
Drop off there. Yeah. Okay. My last bold prediction. I don't even think this is too bold, and I've been talking about these guys all summer long. Cole Kmet, David Njoku, both finishing as top 10 tight ends this year. Anytime I didn't get one of those top guys in a draft, I was laser focused on snatching up both of those guys. I tried to get both of them, especially in best ball, just to. I think there's a good chance one of those guys goes off or has like a top 6-7 finish each week. So yeah, that's what I'm going with.
I totally agree with that, and I think that's a very possible thing to happen.
Yeah,
just based on other tight ends.
Right. Exactly.
All right, well, let's transition here into our starts of the week. I believe we each have 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'll just piggyback off my last bold prediction. I got Hollywood Brown as my first start of the week.
There you go.
For all the reasons I just said, there's very little target competition. And, last year, the Chiefs defense in the beginning of the year was kind of terrible. I don't know if you remember that at all. Like up until they actually signed Melvin Ingram from the Steelers, they were really bad. And like I said, Hollywood has very little target competition, and he's back with Kyler. I expect big things from him.
Okay. I like it. So one of my starts this week. So we're trying obviously not to go with the very top of the line guys.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Taylor. You should start him this week. Yeah.
I like Taylor. I like Allen. I like Jefferson. Yeah. So I'm going with Saquon Barkley for this week, going against Tennessee Titans, which I don't even know what's going on with Tennessee. I mean, they always do pretty well, but it just seems like a gross offseason. Like, I don't know. I think this is finally the year they're going to be, mediocre. Mm-hmm. And Saquon, I feel like he's got a lot to prove. He's going into that final year of his rookie deal. New coaching staff, I think, is going to want to feature him right out of the gate. It just seems like the right time, to go with Barkley early on in the season here. So,
yeah, before he gets hurt.
Kinda, yeah, yeah. So I like him early on.
All right, I like it. All right, my second guy, I'm going to go with Joe Mixon against Pittsburgh. Last year in the 2 games they played against Pittsburgh, Mixon had 46 attempts and 255 yards and 2 touchdowns. That is ludicrous. Man,
oh man.
And the Steelers are supposed to have a good run defense, but the Bengals just destroyed them last year.
Last year was bad though. Last year the Steelers were struggling.
And I hate picking against the Steelers, but man, it's hard to root against Joe Mixon with those performances last year.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Okay, that's fair. I like that. I know. My next guy is Javonte Williams for the Broncos. Last year he had almost an exact 50-50 split with Melvin Gordon. I do not see that being the case this year. I think he's going to have a little bit more of a 60-65% share of those touches. And I think there's so much buildup to one of these games with Russ returning to Seattle that it just seems like one of those sneaky games where they're going to try to take the pressure off Russ and maybe give him a little bit, some high percentage throws, dump offs to Javonte. And I could see Javonte kind of tearing up that Seahawks defense for a couple of touchdowns. So I believe it's Monday Night Football as well.
It is, yeah.
So I like Javonte Monday night.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see Russ against the Seahawks. I think that'll be very fun.
Me too.
And here's another revenge game for you. Joe Flacco against Baltimore. I got Elijah Moore as my last start of the week.
I thought you were going to say Joe Flacco.
No. But the one game last year that Elijah Moore played with Joe Flacco, he was 8 of 11, 141 yards and a touchdown. He was the wide receiver 3 that week.
Okay.
So I know it's small sample size, but it happened once. It can happen again, and I don't think he's going to do that well as Zach Wilson. So while Joe Flacco's there, I'm gonna start Elijah Moore everywhere.
And they're gonna be losing.
Oh yeah,
the Ravens. So they're gonna be throwing. So I think you got a high percentage of them trying to come back in that game. I like it. I like that a lot. gonna have to move Elijah Moore after that into some of my starting lineups.
He's been moving up for me a lot recently.
Yeah. Okay. Mine, I guess, is a little more obvious. My last one's AJ Brown for the Eagles. I think that Eagles-Lions game is going to be a sneaky, high-scoring game where I'm looking at that from some DraftKings perspectives as well, with like maybe a Hurts, AJ Brown, DeAndre Swift kind of stack. You know, I don't think the Lions defense is going to be very good, but I do think that their offense is a lot better than it was last year, and I do think they're going to keep things competitive. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout situation. I think they're going to be going back and forth with each other all game. So, and AJ Brown, you know, it's kind of my Barkley thing a little bit. Like, now, obviously, a little different because AJ Brown's on a new team here, but I think just something to prove. You know, I think it's a chance to kind of showcase what he can do against a very beatable Lions defense. So I'm all over that.
I totally agree. And yeah, I could definitely see that being a more competitive game. And you really do want to like try to start everyone that's going to be in like a shootout. So just as an honorable mention, I would start as many Chargers and or Raiders that you can, just because I think that's going to be a huge scoring game.
Yeah.
If you have Allen and Williams, Eckler, Waller, Adams, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong.
I know. I mean, Chargers tried to bolster that defense with the offseason, but man, that seems the Raiders got a lot of firepower though too on offense.
Yeah. So. I would definitely lean more Chargers than Raiders just because I think the Chargers defense is a lot better. But I think it's still going to be a shootout regardless.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah. And that's going to do it for today. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, comment, say hi. What is your bold prediction for this year? Maybe it lines up with ours. Who knows? But until next time, see ya.